What's there, YouTube? My name is Dan from Pictures Extra, and today we're back with another What If, and this is part of the one-shot storytelling series, where this one will be What If Broly crash landed on Earth, and it's going to be one What If, from start to finish in one shot. This What If was actually inspired by something a friend had bought me, which I will put the pictures here. That is that of two Broly figures. With him knowing Broly is one of my favourite characters, in fact he's probably in one of my top 5. These two probably is my first, which being Broly, Bardock, Future Trunks, Future Gohan, and that of Vegeta. But yeah, today we're going to be focusing on Broly. Let's begin. We start 3 years before the birth of the Saiyan Kakarot, as the Saiyan named Broly is being sent off planet to a planetoid called Vampa, when his pod is hit by something and sent off course to the planet Earth. Paragus still goes to Vampa looking for Broly, but when he crash lands, he finds that Broly never arrived on Vampa, and Paragus will never leave. When his pod lands, he is found by the mountain hermit called Gohan. Since Broly's nature is a lot more passive than Goku's, he isn't hostile to Gohan. He walks with him to go and get something to eat. Also, I'm going to say Broly knows more about himself than Goku did. You know, the fact that he knows his name, he knows he's the same, but not the whole main thing. The first time he transforms, he is shocked, Gohan. But they learn to keep him out of the moon, or to at least keep his eyes covered. Over the next few years, Gohan trains Broly in martial arts to calm his mind, since he gets random bouts of anger. Upon the day Bulma shows up and asks for the Dragon Ball, Gohan agrees, as long as she takes his nephew, Broly, to teach him some real-world experience, and as well for her protection. They still save Turtle and get the Nimbus. Since Broly is a pure of heart, he can ride it, and he does. They get the other Dragon Balls from Roshi when he finds out he's the grandson of Gohan. Most of the Pilaf arc goes the same. Oolong is captured and drugged. Yamcha does not attack when he sees Bulma and Broly, since he is just scared of Broly, since he is pretty massive. Fire Mountain is blown up and they get the ball. When the Pilaf gang attacks, they are quickly taken care of, and Bulma gets her wish. Afterwards, Broly heads back home and tells Gohan about what happened, and Gohan asks him to take him to Roshi's. After this, Gohan does. They reunite, and Gohan recommends Broly to train under Roshi, and he does. When Krillin gets there, he realizes that he is outmatched when it comes to Broly, and begins to resent him for it. During the time training, Krillin begins to understand that Broly was just born strong. Broly even tells him that he was exiled from his home because of the power he holds. Krillin laughs at this, especially when Broly tells him that he probably has better ki control than he possibly ever could have at this moment. The 23rd World Martial Art Tournament starts. Jackie Chun wins against Broly, but not because he's weak, far from it. He's probably the strongest person in this end of the universe, but he was told to hold back since he far exceeds normal people's strength. After the tournament finish, he asks Bulma for the Dragon Rain Dart, and he goes to go and find the 4-star ball. The Red Ribbon arc is pretty much non-existent, because after he gets attacked, he pretty much takes them out, killing Mercenary Tao. Broly does end up climbing Korin's tower and getting the Ultra Divine Water, as well as a few Senzu Beans. Afterwards, Broly wanders the earth to try and find himself. And when he gets to the World Martial Art Tournament, people are shocked on the clothes he is wearing, as I am using the original Broly design, not the more updated one, because I prefer the original design over all. Yeah, he tells them that he met a group of travellers. After defending them from bandits, they gave them these gifts as, a thank you, and they just suited Broly. There is no King Piccolo arc since the Pilaf gang is gone. Broly wins the 22nd World Martial Art Tournament against Tien, and Bulma and Broly start dating. 23rd World Martial Art Tournament pretty much goes the same, but Chi-Chi enters, not to ask Broly to marry her, just to see how strong he is. She loses, and she then goes to Master Roshi asking for him to train her, and he agrees. This year, as well, Broly and Bulma get married. In age 757, Trunks is born. By the age 758, Kami appears to offer Broly a chance to train with him. And within the space of a few months, he completes Kami's training and heads back home. Age 759, Gohan passes, and Bulma and Broly move to the mountains, which is a good getaway since she gets to do a lot more crazier experiments. Age 761, Broly is currently meditating with his son Trunks, when 4 massive power levels enter Earth's atmosphere. Broly, sensing this, he flies towards them and tells Trunks to stay with his mom. Upon arrival in a field, he sees 4 Saiyan pods waiting for him: Radix, Nappa, Kakarot, and Vegeta. Vegeta starts speaking. "You must be the Saiyan that was exiled here. Tell me your name." Broly replies to him, "My name is Broly. Who are you?" Vegeta replies, "I am Prince Vegeta. This is my second in command, Kakarot. That is Nappa and Radix. And I want you to join the rest of the same race. But first you must prove your loyalty by wiping this planet out." Broly's expression changes. "No. Now leave." The Saiyans laugh, seeing that his power level is only that of 500. So they tell Radix to take care of him. As Radix punches Broly in the gut, he does not budge. Radix's face switches from cockiness to fear, as with an instant the scouters read lines, and Broly punches Radix in the stomach, sending him flying, shattering his armor. His power level now reads 0. As Broly then axe kicks Nappa as he rushes towards him, burying him face first, his power also reading 0. At this point, I would say Broly's power level is about 30,000, and Kakarot's and Vegeta's are 27,500, 1.5 times stronger than in canon. Broly stands there, staring at the two. As Broly is looking down upon the two of them, they go in for a sync attack. And first, Broly is having a hard time with these two in sync. But as they fight, Broly is getting stronger, since he has a more high potential in the Dragon Ball world. After 10 minutes, his power level is at 75,000. As the two Saiyans can't keep up with Broly, he fires a ki blast at both of them, shouting "Double Eraser Cannon," knocking them out, not killing them, but seriously injuring them. Broly lets the two leave and warns them to never come back. As Broly gets rid of Nappa and Radix's body, instead of destroying their pods, he takes them both to Bulma, as well as Radix's scouter. When he gets back to Capsule Corp at Mount Pazu, he hands them over to Bulma, which then he tells Bulma what happened, and he's going to tell everyone at Turtle's birthday party tomorrow. As Broly is dropping off the pods, but Radix's scouter turns on, and you can hear, "Can you hear me, monkey?" As Broly speaks, "Who is this?" A voice laughs, "I am Lord Frieza. I'm giving you 1 year before I come to destroy your planet." As he laughs before the transmission is cut off. The following day, Broly informs the gang of Tien, Chaozu, Krillin, and Chi-Chi about the threat, and that they need to head to Kami's lookout for training. Kami tells Broly that he can't teach him anything anymore, but he knows someone who can. He contacts King Kai and agrees to take 2 people. Broly chooses Tien, since he is the strongest out of the Z Fighters, and the gang head to King Kai's planet to train. They get there in less than a day with Broly flying Tien on his back, and they pass King Kai's tests and begin their training. Now, as for Trunks, Bulma would allow him to train with his dad, So I'm going to say Bulma would allow him to train with the Z fighters as well, with Trunks schooling them since he has a power level of about 5,000 at 4. Over the next month, Broly learns the Spirit Bomb from King Kai, but cannot use the Kaioken as something he just is blocking him in his mind. But he wants to try something else, so he starts to fill up with power, and he accesses the Ozaru Rage form. Over the next 3 months, Tien masters the Kaioken, and Broly masters his Rage form, to the point where Broly's power is about 1800,000, and with Tien's power being around about 50,000. For over the next 7.5 months, they just spar in the other world. Tien's power level becomes 1 million, with a max of 12 million at Kaioken times 15. Broly, on the other hand, is 16 million, or in his perfect Rage form, is almost as strong as Frieza in his final form. 2 weeks before Frieza is meant to show up, Broly and Tien head back to Earth, just to make sure everyone is ready. Bulma has the Dragon Balls on standby. On 1 week before Frieza arrives, Vegeta and Kakarot show up again, but this time badly injured. They land at Mount Pozu. After they get patched up, Vegeta's pride broken, he tells Broly that Frieza ordered the Ginyu Force to eliminate the remaining Saiyans. Vegeta tells Broly after leaving, Vegeta and Kakarot went to Frieza Planet 76 to heal. Afterwards, they get ripped off Kiwi about them being defeated for being weak. After healing, Kakarot kills Kwee and the two leave, spending some time planet hopping, hoping not to be found by Frieza troops. When about 11 are found by the Ginyu Force, they are beaten within an inch of their life and they barely manage to escape. Broly uses 2 Senzu beans on Vegeta and Kakarot, healing them as well, giving them a sizable Zenkai boost. After a few days, Frieza shows. As the Frieza ships get closer, they get blasted out of the sky until one ship remains, Frieza's flagship. Frieza exits in his final form alongside his father, King Cold. Frieza gives a speech, and shortly afterwards, Broly fights both King Cold and Frieza at the same time. Entering his rage mode, he's able to keep them both at bay when King Cold has a plan to kill one of his friends, as he fires a death beam towards Tien, killing him. This enrages Broly. His power level starts to skyrocket. His hair turns teal as his power overflows, his power level currently being 800 million. He starts tearing them both apart as he fires a galactic eraser at both of them, destroying them. As Broly falls to the ground out of Super Saiyan. He rushes over to the gang, including Vegeta and Kakarot, who first get him up, give him a Senzu bean, and then contact Bulma, who revives Tien. Over the next 2 years, it takes Broly almost a year and a half to be able to access Super Saiyan without losing control, but it's still grade 1. Trunks, Vegeta, and Kakarot also achieve Super Saiyan. At the end of the 2 years, a man shows up with similar key to someone they know. It's future Trunks. He introduces himself as Trunks, son of Vegeta and Bulma, but not from this timeline, and warns them about the androids. Over the next 3 years, the gang train, with Bulma creating her first gravity room, which everyone trains in. They are able to access Super Saiyan Grade 2, and the humans learn Kaioken. On the day the androids attack, there really isn't one. When Broly took down the Red Ribbon Army, he actually killed Dr. Gero. But Cell did come back from Trunks' timeline, and there he finds the human 17 and 18, where he absorbs them and becomes perfect. They sense a sinister power level heading towards them, and they see Perfect Cell, who is about 10 times stronger than Broly is. And as for the power levels, how they go, it is Broly, who is 2 times stronger than present Trunks, who is stronger than Vegeta. Vegeta and Kakarot are equal. Then it is slightly below them is future Trunks, who is equal to Tien, who is stronger than that of the other Z fighters. A fight ensues, and after a minute, Broly is the only one standing. Future Trunks shows up and gets hit, sending him to the ground. Cell stops and tells Broly that there will be a tournament held in 1 week's time. When everyone get up, they go to the lookout, and Kami informs them about the room. That 1 day out here, 1 year in there. But that there is only enough food for 2 people at a time. This time, Broly has an idea. As he presses on his right gauntlet, a screen pops up, and he asks Bulma to bring 2 years worth of food for 5 people to the lookout. And about an hour later, she shows up, and during this time, Broly goes to Korin, who gets around about 2 years worth of senzu beans. Since Yajirobe was never met, there are still plenty of senzu beans on Korin's lookout. They all go in, and 2 days later, they all come out in Super Saiyan Grade 4. Now, as for power level wise, Broly is stronger than that of present Trunks, who is equal to that of future Trunks, who is also equal to Vegeta and Kakarot. They also notice that present Trunks' hair is teal in his Super Saiyan form, similar to that of his father's. The humans then go in with Tien, Chi-Chi and Krillin, who continue to master Kaioken. Before the end of the week, Bulma finds out she is pregnant. Vegeta and Chi-Chi end up hooking up, and so does Kakarot and Launch. The tournament starts. Mr. Saiyan shows up but gets easily killed, and then the fights start. Starts with 2-on-2 matches. Kakarot and Vegeta versus Cell, which they kind of do okay, but not the best. Then Trunks and Trunks versus Cell, who Cell has a harder time, but still claps the 2 of them. Then finally, it's the main event. Broly versus Cell. Cell smiles, not knowing anything about Broly. As Broly starts to power up, his muscles expand. He gets a foot taller. Cell tells him he won't hit anything in that form, but his speed has increased as well, and so has his strength, as he charges towards Cell, sending him flying. This is the challenge Cell wanted, as Cell powers up to max. And Broly just starts shouting, Cell! 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 Move in the game is called Kakarot, which allows him to get even stronger. Trunks shouts, Dad, calm down, as Cell's losing ground, as Broly begins to pressure rushing with high speed, grabbing him by the neck, and then just turns and smacks him against a mountain with enough force to leave a crater. The impact as he then continues to force Cell into the ground, creating a crater, smashing him simultaneously as Broly starts to smile as he punches him right in the face. He then punches him in the stomach, and he throws up both 17 and 18 as he is now in his imperfect form. Broly brings a hand up to him, sending him flying as he powers down back to base Super Saiyan, walks past the 2 unconscious bodies and starts charging for blast in his right hand. Charged green light comes from all around him into his body, gathering into his palm as a bright green energy sphere. He points it towards Cell and takes him out. Future Trunks after that has a day of R&R before leaving to go back home. 30 seconds later, his ship returns as he tells them that everything is gone. There is no space, there is just this blue empty void. So he must stay in the past. Over the next 7 years, the Earth has been pretty peaceful. Bra has been born. Vegeta and Chi-Chi have their first son, Gasta, which I believe is a type of pepper. And Kakarot and Launch have their first kid, Parsa. Trunks has started Orange Star High School, where he meets his current girlfriend, Irisa. Future Trunks, on the other hand, has a few rough years after he finds out he can't return home, but now he mainly trains with Vegeta, Kakarot and Broly when not helping Bulma out at Capsule Corp. When Bobbidi tries to revive Boo, he fails and the Boo hack never really happens. Dabura is killed quickly and Bobbidi is finished off shortly after. It has been 4 years of peace since the defeat of Bobbidi, and Bulma is currently having a birthday party. when two unexpected guests show up, Whis and Beerus. After everything goes off without a hitch, they even forget about the Super Saiyan God, almost until Vegeta asks them if there's anything else, and he remembers. Shenron is summoned and tells them about the Super Saiyan God and how to create one. Broly is chosen for the energy of the combined energy of Trunks, Vegeta, Kakarot, and Bra into Broly. This is the first time in years that they have all fallen out of Super Saiyan, 11 years to be precise, as all their power passes on to Broly. Now, unlike Goku versus Broly, Broly accepts the power as he starts his fight at 100%. He flies over the ocean and the two begin their fight, with Beerus having to power up to that of Max as the fight starts, with Beerus getting thrown about. Every time he gets some distance, Broly closes in. Beerus even trying to go beyond his max. At this point, Broly is put on the back, but not for long, as he starts getting stronger the more and more he fights, catching up with him in no time. But eventually he falls out of the form and the fight stops. Beerus leaves, and after 2 days later, Whis returns to Earth to check out on a hunch. Upon arriving, he asks Bulma if Trunks is from the future, and tells Whis that he is from an alternative parallel universe that no longer exists. When he comes to hear that Broly never existed, to his knowledge, Kakarot was called Goku and his parents were Vegeta and Bulma. After the interrogation, he tells Trunks not to tell anyone that he's from the future, especially Beerus. Whis is found by the other Saiyans while they're training. Broly and Trunks are in deep meditation, similar to what Jiren does with the barrier around him. Whis wishes to speak to him, so Vegeta fires a big bang attack at him, which kind of knocks him out of his meditation. Whis asks Broly if he always meditates, and he tells Whis that yes, it's the only way to keep his power under control. He asks him if he has ever heard of a planet called Yardrat, because they do similar things there, and he could possibly get far stronger. After this exchange, Vegeta and Kakarot want to train with Whis, and Whis tells them it will take them about 6 months to get to Broly's level, as Broly and Trunks go to that of the planet Yardrat, thanks to the help of Frieza's information, which they were able to get 17 years ago but haven't got all the way through it yet. Vegeta, Kakarot and Trunks go with Whis to train. It takes them about 1 week to get to the planet Yardrat, and after this, the 3 weeks, both Broly and Trunks have learned instant transmission, as well as an additional 3 weeks after that cloning, another 3 weeks after that gigantification, and after 3 months after that healing. Afterwards, they teleport to Earth and take Tien to learn spirit control, since he thinks that he could benefit from it the best. Trunks and Broly teleport to Vegeta. There is no revival of FR. The Universe 6 vs Universe 7 tournament still happens, with Team 7 being Broly, Trunks, Future Trunks, Kakarot, and Vegeta. The order will be Vegeta, Future Trunks, Kakarot, Trunks, and Broly. The first fight is Vegeta versus Butamo. Vegeta wins. The next fight is Vegeta versus Frost, and Frost goes down in 1 hit. The next fight is Vegeta versus Mineta, which is pretty much the same as in canon. Vegeta versus Kaba is pretty much the same as canon. The next fight is Vegeta versus Hit, and this one's pretty much the same as canon. Now, Future Trunks versus Hit is basically the same as Vegeta. Kakarot versus Hit is about the same to canon, except he doesn't have Kaioken, so he loses. Now, the Sun Trunks, don't know why I put Sun there, so present Trunks versus Hit goes quite well. He doesn't take Hit out, but he does get in a few good hits. Broly versus Hit. Hit is worried due to the fact he can sense how strong Broly's power level is without God Ki. Broly powers up to Super Saiyan God, not Blue, because he doesn't need Blue. He is far stronger without it. His first hit on Hit sends Hit out of the arena into the stands unconscious. After the fight is finished, Beerus is thinking that Broly might be stronger than him right now, and he is right. The Omni King shows up, and Broly promises to play with him sometime, and Earth 6 is brought back. Goku Black Arc. I am sorry, even though it is my favourite arc. We start with Broly visiting the Omni King's planet. As he plays with him, hide and seek, universal marbles, patty cake, when he mentions that he might be holding a tournament, and tells Broly that it will be held in 1 week and gives him a bit more time to get his team together. He travels back to Beerus' planet and tells him. Beerus freaks out, but they do have a team in mind. Broly, Trunks, Future Trunks, Vegeta, Kakarot, Tien, Krillin, and Chaozu, and Chi-Chi. But they still need 2 more members. Vegeta and Kakarot suggest their sons, but Broly shoots this idea down due to the fact that they are both undisciplined in battle. Vegeta and Kakarot are a bit annoyed by this statement, but even they know it's true. Broly has an idea for Frieza's database. After looking through it, they find 2 possible people. Cooler and a weird fighter called 7-3. Cooler is easy to find as he is currently running the previous Frieza Empire, now the Cold Empire. It's called the Cooler Empire. He chose to stay away from the Saiyans, and he does agree to join them as he doesn't want the universe to be wiped out. 7-3 on the other hand refuses, unless he is willing to free him and his friends, and they do. Universe 7's team is Broly, Trunks, Future Trunks, Vegeta, Kakarot, Tien, Krillin, Chi-Chi, Cooler, and 7-3. The pre-Tournament of Power fight still happens, with the 7th taking their 3 Saiyan fighters, but they don't have to go anything past Super Saiyan, as not to reveal anything. Toppo still demands a fight, but Broly refuses, as he wants to keep his power level secret, but lies, saying it would be less fun for the Omni King on the day, and the Grand Priest agrees. On the day of the tournament, after everyone is teleported to the world of Void, Jiren and Broly lock eyes, since they can tell that the other is a threat. The moment the fight starts, the Saiyans split up into 2-man groups, except Broly. Vegeta and Kakarot, Trunks and Trunks. The humans stay together. Cooler and 7-3 split. As for Broly, he has his target. He rushes towards Jiren and throws a punch. Jiren blocks, and sends a shockwave that impacts, sending other members of Universe 11 flying. The 2 of them are at equal strength. Neither have powered up yet. Whilst the 2 are fighting, Universe 9 is eliminated. They stop to see this, as Broly powers from Super Saiyan to Super Saiyan God. This is the first time that the gods are seen immortal with the power of the gods. It scares them. Now Broly has the advantage, as he is tearing Jiren apart, but Jiren doesn't stand a chance. He can't keep up with Broly. Broly leaps into the air, raises his hand into an energy and fires a large sphere into the ground. He then throws the ball at his opponent, inflicting massive damage and creating a large field of wind, throwing Jiren as well as a few Pride Troopers out of the ring. Broly is stood in the crater. Shortly afterwards, 10th, the 11th, the 4th, the 3rd, and the 6th, no one from the 7th is taken out. They win, and the other universes are wished back. Now, the Monroe arc starts similar, but ends differently, since there is no napping Boo. Miras contacts Whis and asks for some assistance, and Whis sends the Saiyans to fight Monroe. They start on planet Namek. They start with the upper hand, but over time Monroe is getting the upper hand. But Broly learned one technique on Yardrat. He throws 4 out, each grabbing onto a limb, as he fires an Omega Buster from Saiyan God, followed by an Omega Buster from Trunks, Super Masenko from Trunks, a godly final flash, and a godly brave heat from Kakarot, finishing off Monroe. The arc ends with the same, which the Omni King shows up and has some food as well. That's where we're going to end this video off. In total, it was 33 minutes, which I've been able to cut down to just under 30. But yes, once this is up, that is the end of this. But until next time, look to the left, look to the right, and where's the music?
laptop DJ.